Hi, my name is Leroy. I am a pastor at First Baptist Church of Delaware. A personal couple stories from me. I'm not going to be long with them, but I've had some friends that I grew up with that unfortunately have passed away from overdose addictions. Um, Actually, a couple weeks ago, I had a friend that I grew up with, my neighbor. She actually recently just passed away from addiction. So to me, it's always been a burden. That's why. That's why I'm glad that I'm a part of Firm Foundation, getting with the recovery and trying to get people healed, because that's what it all comes down to at the end of the day. So you definitely see it with people, not being able to be stable in their household. If they got kids, their kids are not stable because their parents are in and out of the house, or in and out of recovery centers, things like that. So it affects it, because now you're losing fathers in the household, and we know that stops kids from growing the way they need to grow. They don't have the stability they need. Mothers, same thing. There's just too much up and down. We have kids in homes now, and yeah.
That's good. That's good, and that's the points we want to hit. So, how have you seen Firm Foundation Recovery address some of those issues with not just overdose but like in the family, like with community stuff? How have you seen Firm Foundation address those issues?
Yeah, so some of the ways that you guys partner and do things with us is having the events for families to come out and to get to know people and show that love of Christ that leads people to want to see change and want to do change. And I know you guys are housing families to get them healed for recovery, so that they can keep that family unit strong.
Why is it important to have a service-based long-term model, like a discipleship model with a location? Why is it important to have that in Delaware?
It's important to have it in Delaware because you can't just send people back out there. They need long term recovery, so that they can see that people are in their corner and that they can continue to strive to continue to keep going in the right direction. Because if you're idle, you're open, you're vulnerable.
Right.
So you already see it. You see it that people are going to recovery, but it's too quick, and they're not being sustained. So then they're coming back home and they're hitting their things, and unfortunately, we're seeing people not make it back. So I think if you don't have a long term, you're just continuing to do the same cycle over and over again. That's why Firm Foundations is so important.
Amen. So, how do you think the recovery model? How do you think the community will look? How will it affect families and communities in Delaware once we have that location? Once we have the long term model?
I think it affected because, like you said, it will have a long term, and it will make people even more stable than what they are. And not only the recovery part, but the unity part and the healing part will be able to be addressed on a longer term, because these little 4-month things, they only work for 4 months, and then people are back out there, like I said before. So I think it will create a long term, because right now I know a lot of people are down in Dover and other places like that, but they're so isolated that when they get done, they come back to the same stuff. So
what about the service element? Like, so when we have the facility, they'll come out and they'll have to serve in initiatives that we already have existing, and in the church and in the community. What do you think that service element does for some like personal?
Well, oh, my fault. Well, it makes you not think about only yourself. It makes you think about the people that you're serving. It gives you a different purpose, rather than just trying to serve yourself, and it continues the healing for you, because now you're not being selfish. It's not all about you and what you get. So.